Imagine a world of incredible wealth, a mansion full of servants, jewel-studded halls, luxury beyond imagination. And then imagine that world collapsing quietly from the inside, destroyed not by enemies, but by the weight of pride, corruption, and fate. Today, we dive into one of the greatest novels ever written, Dream of the Red Chamber, a masterpiece by C.A.O. Zwekin, often called China's Shakespeare. This is not just a love story, not just a family story. It is a story about life, death, power, beauty, illusion, and the painful truth that everything we love eventually fades. Let's begin the journey. Part 1: The World of the Jia Family 1:003:30. Before the story begins, C.A.O. Zwekin gives us a clue. Everything you are about to see is a dream, beautiful but temporary, like a red chamber, glamorous from the outside, fragile inside. The Jia family lives in two grand mansions, Rongguo House, Ningguo House. They are powerful, rich, respected by the emperor. Their garden is filled with flowers, poetry, music, and elegant ladies. They host festivals, banquets, and ceremonies that feel like heaven on earth. But behind the glamour is a secret. The Jia family is rotting from within. Debt, greed, political corruption, and endless pride are slowly swallowing them. This is where our story begins. Part 2 into Jia Baoyu 3:36. Our main character is Jia Baoyu, a young boy born with a magical jade stone in his mouth. This jade is mysterious, a symbol of destiny. It connects Baoyu to the spiritual world and links him to a love story written before his birth. Baoyu is not like other boys. He dislikes politics, status, exams, and the path expected for men. Instead, he prefers poetry, freedom, nature, and most importantly, the company of women. In the Jia household, the women are strong, educated, cultured, and deeply human. Baoyu grows up surrounded by them, and he sees their emotions clearly. He respects them more than society does. But this sensitivity will shape his rise and his downfall. Part 3: Lin Daiyu, the tear of the story 6:09:00. One day, Baoyu meets his cousin Lin Daiyu. She is fragile, intelligent, emotional, and brilliant, a girl whose health is always weak, but whose soul burns brightly. Their connection is instant, as if they have known each other for 1,000 years. And there is a reason. C.A.O. Zwekin reveals a hidden backstory. Daiyu is the reincarnation of a magical plant who was once watered by a divine stone. Baoyu, in a previous life, she returns to repay this debt not with money, but with a lifetime of tears. Her love for Baoyu is pure but painful. Their souls match, but fate does not. Their relationship is filled with jealousies, misunderstandings, poetry, and silent heartbreak. Whenever Baoyu argues with Daiyu, he feels empty. Whenever Daiyu sees Baoyu with other girls, she cries alone. This is one of literature's most tragic romances. Part 4: Shui Bao Chai, the golden match. If Daiyu is a tear, Bao Chai is serenity. She is another cousin of Baoyu, beautiful, wise, calm, and admired by everyone. Where Daiyu is emotional and sensitive, Bao Chai is stable and mature, a perfect match for Baoyu in the eyes of society. Bao Chai represents stability, order, tradition, the right choice for the Jia family. Daiyu represents passion, emotion, freedom, the true choice for Baoyu's heart. This creates the tragic love triangle of the story. Baoyu loves Daiyu, but the family wants him to marry Bao Chai. This conflict sets the stage for heartbreak. Part 5: The Red Mansion Girls. One of the most magical parts of the novel is the group of young women living in the Jia household. Each has her own personality. Xishanjun cheerful, free-spirited, Miaoyu proud, mysterious, Yingchun gentle, innocent, Tanchun smart, ambitious, Xishun artistic, spiritual. Through them, the author shows the beauty and intelligence of women, but also the cruel limitations placed on them by society. Some will marry unhappy husbands, some will suffer abuse, some will die young, some will become nuns. Their destinies show the tragedy of women in a patriarchal world. Baoyu loves these women not romantically, but because they reflect the purity he sees in life. Part 6: The Rise and Fall of the Jia family. While the young people live in a world of poetry and love, the Jia family's wealth begins collapsing. Why? Mismanagement, corruption, bribes, overspending, political enemies, arrogance. Government investigators arrive. Servants steal. Family members fight. Debts grow. The emperor loses patience. Slowly, quietly, the Jia mansion falls. The gardens turn silent. Rooms become empty. Banquets disappear. The once great family becomes a ghost of its former self. This fall mirrors C.A.O. Zwekin's real life. His own wealthy family lost everything. and he wrote this novel with heartbreak. Part 7, The Tragedy of Love. As the family collapses, Daiyu's health gets worse. She loves Baoyu deeply, but she knows the family won't let them marry. She fears being a burden. She sees Bao Chai as a better match. Her jealousy turns to sadness. Her sadness turns to illness. She coughs blood. Her heart breaks quietly. Meanwhile, Baoyu is tricked into marriage. The family arranges a wedding. He believes he is marrying Daiyu, but behind the red veil is Bao Chai. When Baoyu learns the truth, he collapses. When Daiyu hears of the marriage, she dies alone, heartbroken. This is one of the most tragic moments in world literature. Baoyu loses his love, his spirit, and the world he once knew. Part 8, The Ending. The return to nothingness. After Daiyu's death and the family's downfall, Baoyu realizes the world is an illusion. Everything beautiful eventually breaks. One night, he leaves the mansion. He abandons wealth, power, marriage, everything. The ending. The return to nothingness. Detailed explanation. The return to nothingness is one of the most philosophical and symbolically powerful parts of Dream of the Red Chamber. It ties together the novel's core themes: illusion, impermanence, desire, suffering, and the collapse of earthly attachments. Below is a deep dive, structured to help you narrate it clearly and dramatically. 1. The collapse of the Jia family. The illusion breaks. By the end of the novel, the once great Jia family finally faces its downfall. Their wealth, power, and prestige were always unstable, built on borrowed influence and corrupt practices. But now, their homes are seized, their titles stripped, their servants flee, their glory turns to dust. This collapse symbolizes the novel's repeating message. Everything in this world is temporary, no matter how magnificent. The fall of the Jia family is the world's way of reminding the characters that all human pursuits, honor, wealth, status are illusions. 2. Jia Baoyu's inner void. Heartbreaking identity crisis. As the family collapses, Jia Baoyu is mentally and spiritually shattered. He loses his beloved Lin Daiyu, his sense of purpose, his family's security, his identity as the family heir. Baoyu is someone who never cared about material life. He lived in the world of poetry, love, emotion, and dreams. The collapse of the family only intensifies his belief that this world is not real. Human emotions are clouds. Nothing truly belongs to us. 3. Daiyu's death. The final blow. Lin Daiyu's death represents the death of Baoyu's spiritual world. When Daiyu dies, her ashes scatter. Her love story ends unfinished. Her suffering silences forever. Daiyu symbolizes pure emotion, and her death symbolizes the destruction of Baoyu's emotional universe. He realizes, if love, the purest human feeling, cannot survive, then nothing in this world is worth clinging to. 4. Baoyu's marriage to Bao Chai, a symbol of fate, not love. Baoyu is forced to marry Shui Bao Chai, though he loves Daiyu. This marriage represents duty over desire, reality over dreams, society over emotion. Yet even this new duty cannot hold him. His heart stays empty. He learns that fulfilling worldly expectations does not bring meaning. 5. The stone returns, completing the cycle. The novel begins with a magical stone from the heavens, sent to experience human life. This stone is Baoyu himself. At the end, Baoyu's journey ends where it began. Enlightenment dawns. Illusions dissolve. Desires disappear. He realizes life is a dream, and we spend years chasing shadows. This understanding pushes him toward the path of renunciation. 6. Baoyu walks away, renouncing the world. In the final moments, Baoyu, dressed in monk-like clothing, silently leaves his wife, family, and home behind. He walks into the mountains with 2 monks. This symbolizes the end of desire, the rejection of illusion, the return of the soul to its original state. Baoyu returns to nothingness, not death, but spiritual emptiness. No wants, no regrets, no attachments. He ascends from the world of humans back to the realm of mystical existence. 7. Meaning of return to nothingness. The ending represents 1. The return to purity. Life's suffering comes from attachments. When they dissolve, so does pain. 2. The acceptance that life is impermanent. Families rise and fall. Love burns and fades. Beauty decays. 3. The spiritual awakening. Baoyu realizes life is a temporary dream, and only spiritual truth is eternal. 4. The collapse of illusions. The Red Chamber itself symbolizes illusion. When everything is stripped away, what remains? Nothingness, peace, truth, the original form. 8. The metaphysical ending beyond human life. The monks tell Baoyu, return what is borrowed, fulfill what is destined, end what is illusion. Baoyu was a spiritual stone sent to experience the human world. After living through love, loss, temptation, and suffering, he finally returns. The human world taught him one truth: everything we cling to eventually turns to nothing. Thus, his return to nothingness is not tragedy. It is freedom. 9. The hidden message for the reader. The ending teaches us: let go of attachments, they are temporary. Do not fear failure, loss, or endings, they are part of the cycle. True peace comes from clarity, not possessions. Life is a dream, beautiful, painful, and short. 10. Final thought why the ending is a masterpiece. Xiao Weqing gives us a painful but profound truth. We spend our lives chasing illusions, only to realize at the end that nothing truly belongs to us. Baoyu's return to nothingness is not defeat. It is enlightenment. It is the only true ending for a soul who understood the world too deeply.